We're here at the Lansdowne with Cosmos Midnight for Lansdowne TV.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
Good to be here.
The first question I have for you guys is, what's one of your favourite memories that you've had here at the Lansdowne?
Ooh, I'm going to let you take that one first, Cos.
I mean, I've been here so many times over the years. I came here for a friend was throwing a community pole dancing competition. And it was you got plastic Monopoly money, which was fun. And then I had a friend's birthday on the rooftop. I've seen multiple bands playing, including our good friend Timmy Temple, who plays guitar with us.
And the very talented Wave Racer. He played here, incredible mix engineer nowadays.
I mean,
So
this
many
place
good
has
artists.
just had everything through it at one point. So, I mean,
I feel like this place is what would you call kind of initiation place for a lot of
Totally.
artists. Like a lot of people have their first or one of their earliest shows here. I remember seeing Lord here maybe, I don't even know when she started, over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then she came here while she was in Australia to see another New Zealand artist named Matthew Young. So this is clearly the place where you have to play if you want to become a prolific, talented worldwide artist. So yeah,
Sure.
a lot of memories here.
I think that's a really good segue into my next question, which is, how important do you think venues like the Lansdowne or other spaces like this are to the growth for emerging artists?
I think you can't do without them. A big part of discovering art or music is through the experience of the live show, and I think there's only so much you can get from someone through social media and listening to their stuff on DSPs. Also, it's just a valuable experience for people to cut their teeth and get comfortable in playing in front of people.
Yeah.
And if you're just thrust in front of 1,000 people one day, you're gonna choke. I mean, I know I did. So I'm grateful to all the venues like this that allow people to learn and get experiences.
Yeah, I feel like these are probably the most fundamental, integral places for artists because, mid-sized venues and theaters and arenas are for people who have already cut their teeth and broken in all those skills they need. So having these places and not just having them be divey and be they put a lot of effort and the production here is incredible. The front of house engineers are super
People care.
talented. Yeah, people care. It's not just it's a space. It's no, they want to invest in the grassroots stuff. So I think it's really good.
For sure. And so as people who grew up in Sydney and have lived in Sydney for a long time and are artists here, what's something that you'd like to see change in the Sydney scene?
I feel like Sydney, compared to anywhere else in Australia, has been very sort of gig-based, and I'd sort of like to see it transfer a little bit more into a community and nightlife focus where it's less about necessarily what's going on and more just about cultivating a nightlife in general where people want to be out and about in the city doing things. Because I'm speaking for myself, I only really go out when I have an objective in mind. I'm I want to see that artist, or I'm going to go hang with friends here. But it's not usually there's this really sick club that every Friday or, every weeknight or something, there's something going on. So I'd love to see
culture.
that. Yeah, I'd love to see that kind of come back.
Yeah, I feel the whole idea of there being institutions Lansdowne has been that for a long time, but unfortunately it's one of the few remaining ones. Back in the day,
100 years.
100 years of Lansdowne. Alrighty, yeah, I got Ned Kelly coming here back in the day. But we had good God, many clubs in the King's Cross. That's now basically a lovely cafe area. It would be nice to just have people that just want to be out and about in Sydney, regardless of what is on, and I can go to this club and I can listen to techno. I can go to this club, listen to hip hop and R&B. I mean, there are equivalents of that. It's just not as strong as what I think you can get in many countries around the world, which is a shame, considering how beautiful it is here. Yeah.
And leading on from Sydney, what you'd like to see change in the industry, what are some of your top 5 Sydney picks, whether it's food or places to check out?
Well, there's so many in Sydney.
We have a Google list, and if anyone wants it, they can ask us, and we'll send them to it. It's called Sydney Day Tripping, and it's kind of just not just in restaurants, cafes, bars, venues. It's just places you can go for a bushwalk, beaches that we like going to, just little scenic places around Sydney. But to name a few, we love going to Gordon's Bay, which is in between Coogee and Clovelly. Going there when it's high tide for a swim is I think it's the closest thing you can get to kind of a European experience with the rocky swimming.
Sure.
And love taking my dog there. And then there's I feel like there's a million cafes, but I want to shout out specifically this restaurant that does really good pizza. They're called Westwood, and they're in Newtown, and I think they make the best pizza in Sydney. Maybe from what I've had worldwide, it's still the best pizza.
Oh, wow.
Insanely good. Bella
Pretty cool.
Burrito, close second. Any places you want to talk?
Yeah, I feel like I have a bit of a itinerary going when people come to Australia where I like take them on a mini tour of Sydney in one day, and I kind of try to get as many things as possible that are available like in the CBD. Like we don't really get to like Western Sydney or anything like that, just because that's another day altogether. But I usually start off airport to Darling Harbour, go to one of the tacky bars, Cargo Bar or something like that.
But lower the expectations.
Yeah, lower the expectations, but like be like, look at that, there's some beautiful water there. Get like a beer, then go straight to there to Opera Bar because it's a beautiful view of like Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, and Botanic Gardens. Get the ferry to Luna Park, walk through Luna Park, go to Wendy Wiley Garden, ferry back, and then go to like any of the million restaurants in Sydney, like Alberto's or whatever. And then Pellegrino, that's usually my like routine of like someone that's not from Australia, so I can be like, I wouldn't go to Cargo Bar, but I'm like, you need to see this. You need to see what the areas that exist that you don't want to go to, but are part of our culture.
Yeah.
It's just an example. Like there's millions along that whole like waterfront. So that's the only one I can remember.
Darling Harbour culture.
Yeah, the Darling Harbour culture, which is like so unknown to me, but like I kind of love it in a way.
It's beautiful to look at.
I don't know. I just go to Chase's work sometimes, a friend of ours, and like just be like, this is like such a different side of Sydney. Like there's no
totally.
Australians. It's all like Irish, British people, Americans, and it's just it's cool. Anyway.
Cool. Okay, so you guys have been gigging for quite some time now. Do you have any pre-gig rituals that you do?
I feel like I get weirdly superstitious before we play. I'm always worried about things going wrong, and we've had things go wrong. I think
Naturally.
naturally, especially gear with just the amount of when you're touring with the band. There's just so many things that can go wrong. So I kind of get like touch wood, like can't wear like odd socks on the day, like just don't step on cracks, all that. Yeah, all that stuff.
Avoiding cracks.
But we on our rider we have ingredients to make like some pretty good mugs at every show. So before the show we have like a couple margaritas and then maybe a shot of tequila and then go on, and then you're kind of like, I've had 2-3 drinks, I'm feeling good, and then I feel like it's just we have like with our band Timmy and Hassett, we kind of like a little hug out before and just feel like united before we just stand in our own little separate spots and never see each other again to the end of the show. So yeah, that's how it feels for me.
Yeah, similar. I think a really nice thing about our pre-show ritual is that it's very much like the more people, the better. I do not like that whole like. I mean, some people really thrive off getting in their head and like doing push-ups or something. I'm just like, I just wanted to feel it's like friendly. I'm hanging out with as many people and then we just jump on stage. I'm like almost like I don't even have time to think about it. I've just been having fun on stage, having fun back, having fun again.
I mean, especially when you're sharing that experience with people on the stage too.
I think it's really fun playing with a band. I think a lot of people that don't get to experience that are missing out on something that's pretty different. Yeah.
And how about managing your mental health as people who are touring often and always up and down and in different places? And
yeah, I think it's hard, but it's it's obviously we're very grateful, and I think anyone that can tour should be very happy and lucky and not be like too much but regardless, it is very taxing on your mental health, just in that you are not really grounded anywhere. Your time schedule is pretty chaotic, your sleep routine is pretty chaotic. If you even beyond that, if you introduce anything like alcohol, whatever, it can really like do you in a bit. So like when we're doing really intense tours, pretty much none of us drink. Like we'll have like a few on our off days and stuff like that.
Really treat it like super regimented. Like when we did America last year, I think we were driving almost like 7 to 9 hours a day, and we were like leaving the hotel at like 5 a.m, getting to the venue at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, going straight to load into the venue, sound check, and then maybe like in between doors and playing, you go quick get a bite to eat. So yeah, you can't really, you have to just be super strict on yourself and just like give yourself time to unwind after the show and not really like kick on. A lot of people are like, oh, what are you doing after the show? Like, I got to drive another 9 hours in the morning, so I'm going to go to bed. So that's kind of how it is, honestly. And I think just constantly jumping time zones and being in a different bed every single night can really kind of make you feel a bit like a bit lost and a bit listless. You kind of like feel a bit ungrounded. So when you come back home, you feel a bit weird walking into your front door and you're like, this feels a bit foreign now. So yeah, there's a lot of like strangeness and isolation that comes from touring, but I think being brothers and mostly touring with a band, we kind of get to dodge a bit of that. I feel like people who tour alone can definitely run into some loneliness here and there.
And if you're playing a show in Sydney, is there ever a time where you might end up somewhere at 3 a.m. and where would that be?
I feel like when we DJ, it's like anything's on the table. But when we play with the band, it's like, what are we going to do with all this gear?
Yeah.
Like we have like 10 Pelican cases full of stuff and a drum set that needs to go back to the higher spot. And we're like, yeah, we'll just drop this stuff off and then we'll come back out, I swear. And then I'm like, I'm feeling really energetic and good about it. And then by the time I've taken everything back, I'm like,
You see the bed?
yeah, I'm like, I could just get in bed now. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's like hard sometimes. It gets so excited and you got all that post-show energy. But one thing I have loved, especially in summer after shows, is going to the beach when it's really hot at night. Like,
good.
it's like 35 degrees and it's basically as hot as it is during the day, and going for a swim with everyone that was kind of there supporting you. Or, like we'd often like run off the Bronte pool and go for a swim there. I love that. And just like bring a few drinks and a UE boom and have a nice swim. Yeah, that's one of the best things you can do in summer. Other than that, anyone that's got a house that's available that's nearby the venue, and then just ask someone to take our stuff home. Yeah.
Obviously, we've spoken about touring in Sydney, internationally, across Australia. How important do you think touring regionally is?
I feel like in Australia, it's more important than other countries, specifically because there are only like 4 real major cities you can tour in Australia, you know. I guess like a lot of people just don't even go to Perth because it costs almost as much as the international flight sometimes.
Totally.
And like taking a band over there is a small fortune. So it ends up kind of just being East Coast. And so hitting the regional towns, it's like kind of like what's opposite of double-edged. Like it's beneficial for both people in that
Totally.
they're like kind of fiending for gigs. So like we want to see people come through and they're always so appreciative. And then also you're like, we can do more shows. So it kind of checks out.
Win-win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just a lot of people that kind of live in these peripheral areas that miss out on like an important aspect of culture. And I think if you can do a bus tour of the East Coast or something, or like a van tour, it's so worth it. Just do it one time and everyone would love you for it.
I mean, even like this last summer, we just did a ton of like regional DJing, and people just love seeing like people come out from like, oh, you came to, Warrnambool. That's so dope. It's like, it's only like 3 hours from Melbourne, but they're still like, hell yeah, thank you.
Talking about culture, do you have any artists that you'd like to give a shout out or that you've had on your radar recently?
I feel like this one's like an interesting one because we've been friends forever and he's been an artist forever, but he's also had a new project that's been doing incredibly well. His name's Mokhtar, and he's signed to the same label as he's signed to the same management as us, Astral People. And he's just been having like, I think he's been like 2 or 3 years where he's been absolutely crushing it, like doing these massive shows.
Yeah, totally.
Melbourne, like City Hall. He did Carriage Works earlier in the year. Incredible show. Like, I think he's really pushing a sound and sonic and culture in Sydney that's really like elevating a lot of genres and artists that kind of often don't get the stage and time that they do. So he's doing a really important thing for the music in Australia and just doing it in a really tasteful, incredible way. His visuals, his lighting, his aesthetic, it's just so dialed. Like, shout out to Mock.
Big time.
To the important questions. Middies or pots?
Middies or pods?
Neither, like schooners or pints, I would say.
Okay,
What
schooners
even
or
is a
pints?
MIDI? I don't even know what it is.
Western Australia.
You guys use middies, right?
I mean, okay, so let's just go to the schooners or pints thing, because I have an ideology on that. Is like, if you want a pint, it's because you're like, it's a smashable thing that you can reliably finish and go get another one. Schooners are for like dipping your toes in something you might not like. You're like, not everyone loves like a sour beer or something, so you might get, or like maybe you're getting like a seltzer, or you're getting like a hard, like one of those fizzy things, and you're like,
Pints.
all the way?
Yeah,
No, because then you're
It's like schooner's like 1 not enough, pint 1 enough, and then if you want to go more,
More bang for your buck.
Yeah, what if you get a pint of something you don't like and now you're sticking it out?
the things you don't like, you get the
There'll
pint.
be someone who wants it.
Yeah, you always get the regulars, the things you love.
Okay, I guess Coz's logic is you go sip around everyone else's drinks and then decide what you like and get a pint of it. But, if you're by yourself, I think you should be responsible and get a schooner and then go, yeah, this is good. I'm gonna double down and get a pint next time.
By the way, is this like a pints, schooners type answer, or do we explain our logic?
Really, it's up to you.
Okay, cool.
The world's your oyster.
Alrighty, next.
Okay, what about palmies or palmer?
Is it a palmy?
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, palmies.
Acceptable.
Very, very good.
And the last question is, you say rock, paper, scissors, scissors, paper, rock, or paper, scissors, rock?
Scissors, paper, rock. It's the only way. What was the other one? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
It does like it doesn't have the finality of rock.
That made me feel gross saying it. Yeah.
Scissors, paper. I didn't know how you
I get it.
the other way.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot. Like they do in America. Because they got to make it about guns at some point. Sorry, that's political.
Got to blur that one out.
Yeah, kind of political moments. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here on Lansdowne TV. We're here with Cosmos Midnight, and catch you around.
Thank you so much for having us.
See ya.
Bye.
Like that.